Hello, my loves. If you are here today, then I trust that you are exactly where you need to be, that there is a message here for you today, that there is something in this collective reading. Welcome, and let's get straight into it. When I was tuning in, I had this sense that this reading today is about some type of emotional healing, some type of heart healing. So look, two cards have just popped straight out. So let's just go straight to them and have a look at what wants to come up. So I'm going to show you the two cards and they've popped out together. So I'm going to show you both of them together. Where do I put this puppy? Okay. So we can see we have there the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So let's have a look at these. The first, the first card that comes out, in this case, two cards, for me is always the most important. It sets a framework and a foundation for the reading, kind of sets the theme of what's going on. The Ace of Cups is a card. Cups are about our emotions, and the Ace of Cups is about emotional fulfillment and emotional renewal. So the sense that I get is that this reading is going to be about what you need to fill yourself emotionally, and that it's going to be with this Eight of Pentacles. This is very much a practical kind of card around what steps do you need to take, to create this type of emotional fulfillment, like daily chipping away at little steps. So I think that's what this reading is going to be about. And I just feel to go straight in and to start pulling further cards. So let's do that. Let's see what wants to come. Many blessings to you all today. I normally like to, yeah, that one. I normally like to have a card kind of pop out. So fascinating. The Lovers. Okay. Some of these cards have come out recently in another reading. I do shuffle the cards, so I'm trusting the process that that all is well and all is as it needs to be. So let me just tune in. Hmm. I feel today that this is about you finding and creating a love affair with yourself, about both your masculine and your feminine, finding harmony within those two. It's about remembering that your number one relationship in this life is with you. And excuse me, the question that comes to me is, how much are you doing to honor that relationship? Your number one relationship. There will never be a more important relationship than the one you have with yourself. And the question that comes is, how much do you honor and revere your inner partner? Both sides of you. That communion that you have with you. And the question that also comes to me is, how peaceful are you when you are alone? How how in love do you genuinely feel when you are in union with yourself? When there is nobody else around and when you're not, hmm, I want to say when you're not distracting yourself. And I also want to say that there's nothing wrong with, when we have solo time, there's nothing wrong at all. We all want to sometimes just veg out, and watch Netflix or whatever we do, watch film, do whatever we do, like all a-okay. We don't have to be in like continual absolute reverence. Like we're allowed to be all the things. But what is coming up here is that there's a difference between sometimes just enjoying total nothing brain chill time and a constant need to hide and run from yourself. They are different, and only you will know the difference. But I feel in this case today that this card is coming up with a message. Actually, the word that comes is an invitation for you to have a curiosity around your love affair with yourself. And from that, the line that comes is, are you somebody that you would want someone to fall in love with? So whether you're in a partnership already or whether you are currently single and maybe seeking, lovers or a partner, they're repeating that line for me. Are you someone that you would want to fall in love with? And if you're not, how can you make yourself someone that you can fall in love with? There's two pieces to that as well. This card just keeps going deeper and deeper because the first piece is clearly you're absolutely lovable as you are. You certainly don't need to change 1 millimeter of who you are in order to be loved. And only you know if you are not turning up for yourself in the greatest capacity, if you are running and hiding from the fullness of your expression, if you are playing really small in your life. And this card is an invitation to gloriously celebrate the utter magnificence of everything that is you, all of you. The soft, like the line that comes is this soft animal body, the nurturing, soft part of you that just wants to be desired and wants to be loved and wants to self-pleasure and wants to enjoy, strawberries and mangoes on a sunny day, like if you live somewhere where they're possible. Or whatever your happy place is, like listening to for me, it's like glorious music, lying in the sun, eating strawberries and coconut yogurt. That would be like my heaven. And whatever that heaven is for you. And we all have the right to that. Our inner feminine deserves that level of softness and gentleness and sweetness and nurturing. And our inner masculine will sit there kind of a bit tough, making demands for what he desires for our life. He is the part that is going to want us to take action, to not be chicken, to be willing to be courageous, to get uncomfortable, to step into the unknown, and to do what is needed to create the life that we truly desire, the life that will honor this soft-bodied feminine within us, and the life that honors his needs for standing up, being seen, shining in the world. Like the inner masculine, the inner feminine, together, they walk towards this mountain in the background. They have somewhere to get. They have these desires that need fulfillment. And I feel like right now you're being called to be that angel overlooking this card, looking upon yourself and saying, just getting very real with yourself and saying, am I meeting my own needs? Am I turning up for me right now? Because if you're not, it is unlikely that anybody else fully will. Because life is such a friggin' annoying mirror. Damn it. And if we don't turn up for ourselves, it is unlikely that the world will fully turn up for us or meet our desires. And so an extraordinary life begins with extraordinary self-love. And that is what I feel you are being called upon to query today. That is that card, my darling. Just seeing what next card wants to pop out. There we go. Love it the way they pop out. How do you get there? That's the question that I'm being given. Okay. This card's a little bit tough, so I'm just gonna, that's a little warning, all right, that I'm gonna show you. This is one of the tough cards, and cards like this are the reason why I did not use the traditional Rider-Waite deck for the majority of my 20 years of doing psychic readings with clients, because some of the cards are a bit tough, but I feel that you can handle it now because I can handle it, and if you're a mirror of me, then we can handle it together. All right, so get ready, baby. I'm gonna show you together. Okay, here we go. We have got this little puppy. All right, the Nine of Swords. There he is. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, I knew. I had this sense that this was about some big healing thing going on. The Nine of Swords. As you can see, this character is up at night. They are worried and they have a lot on their mind. So this card is about thoughts that do not serve you. That is what this card is about. And so my question to you is, what thoughts are you currently having on rotation that really do not serve you? They are not loving, they are not supportive, they are not expanding you, they are not growing you, and they are not moving you in the direction of your dreams and the life that you desire. This card is about, it's kind of a tough card in that it is saying to you that nobody can change your thoughts but you. And so if you are having negative thoughts about yourself or thoughts of worry about your life, thoughts of, I feel to say sometimes thoughts of hopelessness, like not an absolute despair. I don't feel that energy, but I feel this energy where, those days where just things look a little bleak, where we lose our spark, where we lose that, I don't know, that energy of, that, like, the line that comes to me is like that Disney happy place, where we lose that Disney happy place of just believing that we can do anything, we can be anything. This is the card with that energy of life has hurt you, life has broken a little piece of you, and you are like, dude, I don't know how much more I can take. I am smashed. Life has friggin' smashed me. And in this moment, I just want to lie down and just like make it all stop and freeze time, make it all go away. And I get it. Like, I actually beyond get it more than you could ever friggin' imagine. Oof, life as a human, right? It is tough. It is so tough sometimes, particularly for those of us who are here for the bigger journey, for the self-growth, for the deep lessons and the alchemy to really expand into the greatest version of life. And for most of us, that means that we're not going to get there without some big challenges. I'm not saying that the only way to grow is through pain. I'm absolutely not saying that. And in my experience, with pretty much everyone that I know in the real world, on any kind of path of real alchemy, really stepping into an expanded version of life, is that you're going to have to go through some kind of dark night of the soul, some kind of big challenge, in and through and out the other side. And this card is about, whew, some heavy stuff that you are facing, heavy pain, heavy loss, heavy grief, heavy thoughts, and they come to you in quiet, dark moments, which may also be why you may not want to sit with all aspects of you, because right now they are being usurped by some of this pain. And that's freaking tough. That is super tough, honey. And I guess what I want to say, what's standing out to me with this card is the quilt. The quilt full of little hopeful flowers growing in that little quilt. And to me, this card is a reminder that no matter how dark times get, if you have written this experience into your soul, then equally you have written in the capacity to get out of it and to move through it and to step into, to get out of that bed, and to find yourself in a new experience, to create a new reality. But it may mean that you're going to have to change some stories in your mind, that you're going to have to end some type of rote thinking or pattern. And in whatever way is true for you, that might mean that you're going to have to really tune into what you need to do to heal some of those old school thoughts, some of those. Yeah, I keep getting this thing of like on rotation, on rotation. I feel that you'll know what I'm talking about. Those of you who this is resonating with will know what I'm talking about. That these are the thoughts that you catch yourself going, oh my God, I can't believe I still think that, or I can't believe I still do that. And it might even be a little bit of shame or a little bit of embarrassment that this keeps repeating. And so it's so tempting to just kind of go, oh, I'm just gonna numb out and bury that and not worry about it and hope that that puppy will just go away. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere without you doing something about it. You have the ability to grow and move through it, and you're responsible in how you find a way to change it. Okay, so that is that one. And I'm going to ask for more information around this healing path and around, how do you actually get rid of those really heavy thoughts? That is the one that is popping out. What do we got here? So interesting. A lot of repeat cards. And okay, that's cool. I'm down with it. I've been shuffling like a demon. Anyway, repeat cards happen. So this card this is the Three of Pentacles. And this card is about getting help. This card is about getting support and getting help from someone that you love and someone that you trust. It's about getting the right kind of help. I don't know if you could hear that. I had possums that just ran across the roof really loudly. Anyway, oh my God, they're so funny. If you hear this weird banging, that is possums running. That could be a sign. You could look up possum totem or possum spirit animal. Actually, I feel like it could be relevant because possums are, I think one of their, I'd need to look it up, but I think they have this kind of playful energy. So I would definitely look that up, look up possums, and it might be relevant for you. But there's something about a lightness of the possums coming in, at this exact moment when I'm saying, get some help. What does that help look like for you? And, one of the things that comes to me is it might be about spending time with people that just bring you joy or doing things. Part of your path of healing might be getting help in the form of what feels light, what feels playful, what brings you out of the darkness, more darkness in this card, okay? And these people stepping in to receive help, this couple stepping in to get help from their mentor there and to create change in their physical world. The pentacles are always about the physical world, so that's what comes to me. This is standing out to me today, the way that they are holding something in their hand. So they're turning up with a map. They've got this kind of blueprint that they're turning to this person, to get the help. And to me, that is almost you turning up for yourself, you turning up with spirit or whatever you believe in, the great power that is, whatever terms you want to use for you. If you're religious, the gods that that are deities for you, it's all sacred to me. So just whatever works for you, just you substitute those terms. And this is about you turning up with a map, with a blueprint, and being very specific with the kind of support that you're seeking. And, that might make, this is coming to me too, which is kind of random, but it's saying like maybe type into, Chat GPT or whatever if you use an AI and if that resonates for you. But I've definitely never suggested that before. And I don't even use it that much, but that just came to me that actually type in how you're feeling, type in the current experience, the current thought patterns that are happening, and type in to receive some guidance of how you could overcome that. Like this is about getting very lateral in where you go for this help. It might be professional help. It might be AI help. It might be, hanging outside, looking at animals or listening to random creatures, and it might be something that involves more lightness and more play. The what comes here, what this card is about, it's about lightening the energy and remembering that all hope is not actually lost, that there is always a way through, even when we don't see it, and that sometimes, especially when things have been quite dark and super difficult, the first step is the hardest. The first step is the hardest, and so sometimes we have to kind of force the hand a little bit in order to help us help ourselves. And that's the sense I get with this, is that might start with just what can you do to lighten the energy. I know that sometimes I've definitely had pretty serious depressive episodes in my life. So if you are someone who has experienced that or are going through a really dark time right now, then, with my whole heart, I have so much compassion for you. I actually really know what it is when you're in those really dark places where it's hard to find the joy, to access that light, to remember the goodness that is available. And so I guess what comes to me is that sometimes we do have to force our own hand to take one tiny step to just lighten the energy. So I know for me, sometimes that meant a physical body practice of, for me, they were things like yoga and dance, which are my two favorite ways, of like expanding into the body, particularly polyvagal yoga. If that resonates for you, Google it. Trying to remember the name of this woman. Oh my gosh, she has escaped me. I will put it in the notes. There's a really cool psychologist who also does polyvagal yoga, and she has a whole bunch of classes on a YouTube channel. She's amazing. So I'll pop that in the notes for you. And if that resonates, and just do what resonates for you, but it's about taking a step to shift the energy. So it's like step one, shift the energy. I'm just going to ask, what else do you need to know here? What else do you need to know? Hmm. I'm going to show you this card. I'm going to keep tuning into it. Okay, there we go. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, we have a character here standing in his castle with his two wands and a little globe. And he is dreaming up a new life. He hasn't left his castle yet. He hasn't gone on the journey, but he is thinking about it. He is tuning in to what he desires. The ones are about action, and he is tuning into what steps he wants to take to create the life of his desires. And so when this card comes up, in this case for you, what I feel today is this card is about you remembering that you are more than your current circumstances. You are more than your current experience. You are more than what is happening in this moment. You are this being, this grand creator, capable of stepping into a whole new adventure. The whole world is in your hands, but are you willing to dream it up and to take some action? Because it's the wands, it's always about action. So he has, I think this card is interesting. He has this brown cloak on, this travel cloak on, that sort of tells us he looks like he's got his travel gear on. We don't see his pack yet, but he's got what looks like, that could definitely be travel gear, his little pants and his travel cloak. He's got that red hat, showing there's some passion there. The brown is this groundedness. This is about one thing is dreaming, daydreaming about, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could live a better life? And then just letting that go and keep watching Netflix, And another thing is dreaming, saying, what if I could actually create the life of my desires? What if this was actually possible for me? And that's what this card is about. This card is not about a daydream that just gets buried. This card is about grounding a dream into truth and action in your present moment. This card is about taking that world in your hand and saying, what do I want for my whole life? What is possible for me? And how can I make that happen? What would one step be? And so this card is an invitation to actually reignite your dreams, the greatest vision of your life. One thing that I find works super well is to take yourself on a little internal journey into your future greatest timeline. If that is something that feels possible for you, then I invite you definitely to do that. That is definitely how I have gotten my greatest access to the greatest visions of my life, is when I ask Spirit to reveal to me in some type of meditation journey the greatest timeline possible. And I've gotten the most crazy, scary, epic flashes of the greatest possible life for me. So if that resonates, I definitely invite you to try that. Either way, without making it too complicated, this card is just an invitation to dream again. Forget about the practical day-to-day life and the current worries and the things that are bringing you down and the stuff that feels too hard or like too much. It's too much. Forget that for a second and ground into this possibility of a bigger, better life. The dreamer in you is calling you and asking you to remember your dreams, your visions for your future. Maybe the hopes that you've let fall away. This is an invitation to reactivate those and to take a step to follow all this growth, these greener pastures calling you outside of this safe, stable little world that you know. These new mountains are calling you in the distance, distant lakes and lands. There's so much life out there, newness outside of the safe, known world. But do you dare take a step outside of your safe bubble to dream it into reality? That is your next card. And I feel it could be the last card. I think it's the last card. Okay, there it is. A final thing to know in how to turn this from just like a pipe dream into reality. How do you do that? Heavy. This is heavy, dude. All right, I apologize in advance. Like I said, this is why I did not use the Rider Waite for 20 years. All right, so I'm going to show you. This is the one we pulled before, the 9. Okay. Following the 9, we have the 10. Okay. Don't be scared. No mofo. Can I say that? MF? Anyway, MF. No puppy is coming to stab you with 10 swords in your back. This is not literal. Do not freak out. No one's coming. All right. But what is happening is this card, the 10, it's basically telling you that the way to get where you want to get to activate those dreams that you are desiring is that this story, it has to end. It has to die. You cannot continue those patterns, continue that thinking, and that if you want to traverse and find that new sunrise, to find those beautiful blue waters and the mountains on the other side, to move through that darkness, then the story has to end. And the only person who can end that story is you. And the line that comes is that this might mean the death of a part of you. So that's scary. It might even mean the severing of ties in some way. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but the sense that I get is it might be that some relationships might have to end, that change form or alchemize or end. So whatever one of those is most meaningful to you, I'm not here to tell you to like ditch everyone from your life. If you are lucky enough to have epic people in your world who love and adore and support you, sensational, and you keep those puppies and hold them tight to your heart. This is about acknowledging if there are people in your life who are not honoring you, treating you with respect, and keeping you stuck in patterns and self-loathing and a lack of self-care and a lack of self-love because of the repeated continual stories being played out in the real world. So this is sort of saying something needs to end that physically, that is linked to those stories keeping you up, to that pain. So if it's simply ending a story in your mind, sensational. If it's transforming something in terms of a relationship with someone, perfect. You will know what that means for you and trust yourself with your own internal guidance and nudge as to what that means for you. But the way through to your dreams is to change this pattern of thinking. Feel there is one more card, one last card for you, my darlings. I feel like they want to bring hope. What is here for you on the other side? If you are willing, darling, if you are willing to face. Oh, babe, I feel for you. If you're willing to face those shadows, shadow work, it's not that fun, right? It's a bit caca. But if you're willing to go there, there's some good juju for you. Oh, yes, babe, I'm feeling it for you. There was hope, right? On the other side of that puppy, okay, and we saw the yellow. We saw the yellow sunrise, which is about the courage, right? Yellow is that solar plexus chakra calling us for courage, our will. We have to be willing to face something. And then what comes on the other side? Ba, ba, da, ba, the strength card. Hell yeah, honey. So amazing. The strength card is one of the absolute best cards in the entire deck. It is magnificent. So what we have here is the whole card is cloaked in yellow, as we can see. There is this courageous energy here of someone who has faced this. Once we reach the strength card, there's already been, so this is card number 8, and there's actually already been 8 cards because the major arcana starts with card number 0. So, they've already been on a bit of a journey, this character. And by the time they get to strength, they have really had to remember the tools inside them, the magic inside them, their intuition, their gifts, how to utilize those, how to balance and remember that life is full of light and dark. And it's not all just like happy rainbows, that life can be hectic and we get challenges for sure. And by the time we reach the strength card is this character, and I want to show you up close her face. Look how chill she is. She is so chill. She is smiling peacefully as she opens the jaws of a lion, right? She's super chill. It's freaking amazing, that card. And what this tells us is that she's not ripping those jaws open. The lion yields to her because the lion feels the place that she's landed in this place of peace. Her gown here is white, reflecting her, remembering her own divinity, her own beauty, her own innocence. And it is covered in flowers. This card is about so much internal growth, so much remembering your worthiness of being loved, the pure innocence that is you, the child within you, the beauty within you. Above her head is the infinity sign, that reminder that you're connected to absolutely everything that exists in the world, that spirit is just here to support you. There's a wreath around your head, and that is all about you being celebrated and celebrating yourself like you are the queen or king or just like magnificent being. You know, you are this royal being in your own world and life. This card is saying that you have the strength to face anything inside you, any demon, any obstacle, any enemy, any battle, especially the internal ones, because let's face it, they're generally the hardest, right? They're the hardest. Generally, nobody is as cruel to us as we are to ourselves. That certainly was the case for me. Very occasionally still is, but not so much now, but certainly was for decades. So if you have any whispers of that, as I said, so much compassion and love to you with my whole heart. This card is a reminder that there is a brand new world waiting for you on the other side of you accessing the courage to face your pain. That mountain is blue. To me, when I look at that, that is about you using your voice, you speaking up, and there is just all this nourishing, replenishing energy there of, everything is green and fragrant and flourishing. And it's just an incredible card of power and fulfillment. And that is all waiting for you, my love. And the way to get there is to end this old, I feel like I want to say the word toxic story, this old toxic story that the truth is you don't even want it anymore. You don't even like it anymore. You kind of know you've outgrown it, but it's just it's a little bit, still a tiny bit comfier to stay in it than to step out of it. So this strength card is just a reminder and a little bit of a pep talk, to get you over the other side and say, you know what? Take a couple of friggin' steps, because on the other side of this, you are not going to frickin' believe how strong and magnificent and epic you are going to feel, and the kind of union that you are going to draw from that place is going to blow your friggin' mind. It is going to blow your friggin' mind. It feels so beautiful. Oh my God, amazing. I felt like I just wanted, I sometimes get a bit nosy and I was like, do I pull one more? Do I not? And I was like, just one more, just one more. I was a bit nosy. So this one tiny more card, I was like, so what's waiting for them? What's waiting for you is this boss card there. He is sitting there, the Nine of Cups lined up with all his cups full to the brim that he has selected, that he has chosen from clear communication, from courageous action. He is the boss of his own life. This card it's an incredible card around deep emotional fulfillment that you get by taking your own action and being responsible for filling your own cup. So, man, you got 9 cups waiting for you, baby, full of liquid gold, sunshine, magic, juju, epicness. That is all there for you, my love. That is your collective reading for the day. If that resonated, I would love for you to, do the things like whatever it is, like, subscribe. I would genuinely love to hear your comments on how this resonated for you. And thank you so much for your love and your support. I send you so many blessings for your growth, for your courage, for you stepping into the most magnificent version of yourself. And until next time, I am Aaila, and stay magical. Bye, beauties.